Going viral, the holy grail of social media, the mecca of being a musician in 2025, or at least that's what a lot of musicians believe. But you wanna know the truth about going viral? Going viral is simply a spark. And if you have the right foundation built when that spark hits, then it can set the entire foundation that you've built ablaze and create a wildfire of growth. But if that spark happens without enough foundation underneath it, it fizzles out just as fast as it came. In this video, I'm going to show you what actually matters. I'll walk you through how I was able to go viral during my recent social media strategy with my latest single release, why that success wasn't nearly as overnight as it might look, and most importantly, how you can start planting the seeds right now to build a strategy that turns your spark into a wildfire for growth. But before we dive in, if you are here because you want to build that kind of foundation for your music, the kind that doesn't just chase numbers, but actually grows real momentum, click the link in the description below where it says artist consultation, so you and I can meet and discuss where you're at, where you want to go, and create a customized plan for your music promotion and social media strategy that actually channels your truest artistry. All right, let's get into it. So last week, I released my newest single, which happened to be a cover of the song Take On Me by a-ha. And yes, it's a cover, which helped activity a lot because people just love that song. But this was unlike anything we have ever seen. In just the first 9 days, it has already been streamed over 150,000 times on Spotify, with millions of views across our TikTok channel and thousands of creators using this song for their content. When people see an artist go viral like that overnight, it's easy to think it's just like hitting the lottery, that it all happened by chance. But the truth is, this was the result of years spent getting crystal clear on who we are, my band, in our artistry, what we stand for, and subsequently what we communicate in both our music and in our content. And across time, we've been planting seeds through that clarity, refining our strategy, fine-tuning how we show up, so that when this spark came, it had something real to actually ignite. And all that work we had done leading up to this point, building those connections, building those relationships with our community, showing up consistently with content that told our story, that's what allowed the algorithm to respond the way it did and set it all ablaze. People weren't just engaging because we released a song they liked. They were there for the world that we have built. And when you pair that with an actual understanding of how platforms like TikTok work, you can bridge the gap between a single moment of attention and real lasting growth. That's exactly the point of everything we're talking about here today, which leads me into one of the first talking points for today, which is having the proper mindset when it comes to your social media strategy and the way you can think about going viral, since it's this topic we all talk about. This journey you're on with music, it's not a sprint, it is a long distance race. And like I said earlier, going viral is not the finish line. It's not even the point. It's simply a spark. And that spark is only ever going to catch if, like I said, there's enough timber stacked underneath it to actually set a blaze. And that timber is your artistry. That's your mission. The truth is, you cannot control when or if you go viral. You can't plan it, you can't force it, but what you can control is how ready you are when it does happen. You can control the foundation you're stacking right now, the choices you're making, the story you're telling in your artistry, the belief that you're building in yourself. You can control how you show up, whether you're currently getting 100 views or 100,000. And when your momentum does come, because it will, you will not be scrambling. You will be ready. You will be grounded. You will be standing on solid ground, ready to turn that spark into a fire that actually lasts. So all that said, do you have an artist mission? Have you given real thought to the foundation you're setting right now, the artistic legacy you're building, so that when opportunities for growth show up in the future, you're actually ready to capitalize on them? Are you considering the legacy you're going to leave in your artistry and the story you're communicating every single time you show up? Because if you're not, then that's where we have to start. Your artist mission is the intentional framework that holds everything together. And it helps you achieve two essential things inside your artist strategy. First, it allows you to communicate a clear, recognizable story so that when people come across your content, they actually understand who you are, what you stand for, and why you're different, why they should follow you. Your mission captures your human story, the deeper moments that shaped you and fuel your creative world. It defines your creative imprint, the specific energy, the feelings, and the meaning that you channel through your music and into your music. And it clarifies your sonic profile, the sound and emotional atmosphere that you create, so that everything you share feels consistent, feels magnetic and real, and so that you're telling a consistent story even in your music. So when you incorporate a mission as a framework to share your story, your content stops being something you create randomly or something you create simply for the numbers. Instead, every piece of content becomes a touch point, a way of communicating your artistry and your legacy so that people can actually understand the story you're telling over time. Through feeling your creative imprint, connecting with your human story, and recognizing the consistencies in your sonic profile that they resonate with, they're not just viewers anymore. They become subscribers. They become engaged members of your community. You're no longer just another face that they scroll past on their feed. You're someone that they recognize and that they're waiting to hear from again. And when you have those highly engaged community members that are very active, interacting with your content on a regular basis, if they're saving it, if they're sharing it, commenting on it, replaying it, it naturally stockpiles engagements, which platforms love. This tells social media algorithms, hey, people love this. Show it to more people, and more people like this. That's what introduces you to a whole new hemisphere of audiences. That's what creates those sparks that can truly set that foundation ablaze. Not because of a random chance, but because you've spent time laying that groundwork for that to actually happen. Now, that's only one part of building your artist mission. The second reason that it's so important, and honestly maybe the most important reason, is that your mission becomes your internal guidepost. It becomes your lighthouse when the waters get rough. It becomes your North Star when everything else feels unpredictable and out of control. Because the reality is, building a career in music, if you don't know it yet, especially as an independent artist, is filled with uncertainty. There are high highs and there are low lows. There are seasons where growth feels fast, feels exciting, feels fun, and seasons where it feels slow, it feels exhausting, it feels anxious and stressful. If you don't have something deeper that's anchoring you into place, something bigger than just the numbers that you focus on, it's way too easy to lose faith. It's way too easy to give up before something starts to pick up. But when you have a clear artist mission, when you're not simply chasing temporary validation, you are rooting yourself in something with a deep sense of purpose. You're building something that can weather all of those seasons and keep you moving and grooving along. Your mission keeps you consistent when everything around you feels chaotic. It keeps you believing when the numbers aren't coming as fast as you want. It keeps you aligned with the bigger picture so that every post, every song, every performance is moving you closer to the impact that you are meant to make. Because real growth, real legacy, it's not built overnight. It's built by showing up day after day for something you actually believe in. And this all isn't just emotional work, it's strategic too. One of the reasons artists don't grow inside the algorithm is because they fall victim to those slower seasons. I talk to artists, I work with artists all the time. This is one of the biggest points of friction. When their content doesn't perform the way that they hope, they get emotional about it. They lose momentum, they start second guessing every single thing that they're doing, and eventually they burn out, they stop posting altogether because they want to escape the negativity. And that inconsistency creates a self-fulfilling prophecy of stagnation, because consistency is what allows growth to happen in the first place inside the algorithm. When you have a mission anchoring you in place, even when the waters feel tumultuous, you're able to stay the course. You stay consistent, you stay visible, you keep giving the algorithm and your audience new reasons to pay attention. And that's what keeps the fire growing. Even when the waters feel tumultuous, you are able to stay the course. The algorithm can then support you and you can continue growing across time. Now, if you want to develop your mission, but you're like, how the heck do I do that? Where do I even start? What does that even mean? Then click the link in the description titled Artist Consultation, where we can chat. through not just developing this mission and getting you back aligned in your artistry, but talk about what happens next and how to create the most magnetic content with it. All right, so now that we're clear on your mission, the next piece of the puzzle is, who are you meant to serve with this mission? Because the truth is, your music is not made for everybody. And honestly, that's a good thing. When you try to make music for everyone, then you end up watering yourself down. You lose those sharp edges that make you stand out. You lose the creative point of view that makes you magnetic, and that's why you're an artist in the first place. You end up blending in instead of standing out, and we do not want that. But when you focus on the right people, the ones wired to connect with your story, your sound, your perspective, you build something way more powerful than simply a fan base. You build a community, a real community, a space where people find belonging, not because of a trend, but because of what your artistry actually represents. And when you build that kind of community, you're not just stacking numbers, you're building reputation, you're building a legacy. You're building something that people want to stay connected to, not just for one song, but for years to come. And the best part, it's exactly what fuels algorithmic growth. When real people genuinely engage with your content because they feel something from it, because they feel seen or they see themselves in it, the algorithm notices that and they notice who they are. Genuine connection equals high engagement, and high engagement equals mass discoverability. It's not random, it's not luck, it is built. And when you know exactly who your ideal fan is, you're not just creating content randomly and hoping it sticks, you're creating content intentionally, content designed to resonate with a very specific kind of person, your person. Because when you know who you're talking to, you can weave in messaging that is meant just for them. You can frame the hooks of your videos in ways that directly call out their experiences and resonate with them. You can show up inside the conversations that they're having because you understand the psychology that they have. You can create emotional moments that hit them right where they live in your music and in your content. And when you create with that kind of intentionality, you're not just making better content, you're also making smarter content. Because algorithms are built around patterns. They are designed to notice who is engaging with this content, what kinds of people seem to like this piece of content or this creator, who should we send it to next? So if you're crystal clear about who you're trying to reach, and you populate your strategy with things like the keywords and hashtags and meta language aligned with that person, you're giving the algorithm a very clear target to aim at. You're basically handing the algorithm a map. You're saying, hey, send this to more people like this. And when the algorithm understands who is resonating with your content, it can scale you way faster inside the spaces you actually want to grow within. But if you don't give the algorithm enough information, if your messaging is vague, if your content is random, if your hooks don't speak clearly, then the algorithm, it gets confused. It's too much confusing information. It doesn't know who to send it to. It doesn't know how to categorize your content or you as a creator. And so your reach stays small, it's inconsistent, and it remains scattered. That's why getting crystal clear on your ideal fan and crafting content that intentionally speaks to them isn't just a creative decision, it's a growth decision. It's an algorithmic decision. It's how you stockpile those high quality engagements that allow your content to actually scale, not just reach random people, but reach the right people. The people who stick around, the people who come back, the people who build your fire bigger every single time you show up, because again, they're your people. And honestly, that's exactly what happened when I posted the first piece of content promoting my new song. Because I had spent time building consistent engagements with the right kind of fans, people who fit a very specific algorithmic space. When I finally dropped an exciting announcement around the release, those fans, they clamored to it. They engaged instantly, they watched it, they shared it, they commented on it, they saved it. And those concentrated, high quality engagements conditioned the algorithm to send that piece of content to even more people just like them. Because the algorithm had already been trained. It knew who resonated with our music, our content, and now it could blast that content out into bigger aligned spaces. That's why the video didn't just reach a lot of people randomly, it reached the right people, the ones most likely to stick around and become part of this community long term. And now, because of that, the baseline of people engaging with our content has expanded. The floor has risen, the ceiling has risen. And moving forward now, every post, every song, every piece of content has the opportunity to build way more momentum on top of that stronger foundation. Because real growth isn't just about one viral moment, it's about stacking strategic moments, layer by layer, in a way that grows not just your reach, but your community, like timber. Now, I know you probably clicked on this video expecting me to hand you a simple black and white answer. I don't know, maybe you thought I was gonna say, film your video like this and you'll go viral, or use this trending sound and you'll go viral, or post exactly at 7:03 p.m. on a Tuesday and you'll go viral. And listen, sure, there are content strategies that can increase your odds, for sure. There are mechanisms that we can use to give your content the best shot at success. But the real, honest, hard truth is that none of that matters if you do not have this foundation built first. It'll fizzle out. It'll fizzle out as fast as it came. The real work, the real opportunity, it's not in chasing those random moments. It really is in building something so freaking solid, so consistent, so real, that when that spark does come, it catches onto something and it becomes unstoppable. So if you're walking away from this video today, here's what I want you to take away with you. Get crystal clear on your mission, why you're here, and the impact you're meant to make through your music, through your artistry. Identify who your music is truly meant to serve, the real people who are wired to connect with you, your community, your people, and start showing up for them every day, every post, every piece of content with clarity, with consistency, with purpose, not numbers, but people. Because when you do that, you're not just waiting for a lucky moment. You are building a legacy. You are stacking your timber. And when that spark finally comes, and trust me, it will, you'll be ready. Now listen, you can absolutely do this work yourself. You can take every single thing that we have talked about today in this video and start piecing it together with your mission, with your fan base, with your strategy. But if you want objective help, if you want to accelerate that process so that you can start implementing your strategy with clarity and direction as fast as humanly possible, then I would love to help you. Because the truth is, the sooner you start building that foundation, the sooner you are setting yourself up for success, for that spark to catch and to actually set ablaze. So if you're ready to do this with intimate guidance and support, click the link in the description titled Artist Consultation, and we will hop on a call together one-on-one, and we'll talk all about how I can help you set up your foundation, develop your mission, and create a full content strategy to actually implement it with purpose. No more guessing, no more scrambling, just clear, intentional actions toward building the career that you're meant for, the future you're meant for. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We go deep every week here, and please turn on your bell notifications so that you never miss one of those weekly uploads. And if you've had any breakthroughs while watching this video, if you feel inspired, if you want to share anything, drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I do personally read and respond to as many comments as I can, so please comment. Remember, your artistry has real power. Your story, your sound, your mission, it all matters. It's meant to reach the people who need it. And every piece of content you share, every song you release, it's not about chasing numbers. It's about building a world where the right people, your people, can find you, feel seen by you, and stay connected to what you're building for years to come and what maybe you have been building this whole time. So keep going, keep believing, keep stacking that timber. Because when your spark comes, and trust me, it will, you will be ready to set it all ablaze. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.